differentiation basics of differentiation. So before starting the differentiation concept, we need to know some quantities. There are two types of quantity. Quantity means some quantities. Quantity is divided into two types. First is the constant quantity, and second one is the variable quantity. So you are in differentiation, you are going for basics first. Basics లో మనం క్వాంటిటీ అంటే హౌ మచ్ అని చెప్పేదాన్ని. క్వాంటిటీస్ కొన్ని కాన్స్టెంట్ క్వాంటిటీస్ ఉంటాయి, వేరియబుల్ క్వాంటిటీస్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా? అవి క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్, సో బేసికలీ కాన్స్టెంట్ క్వాంటిటీ డెఫినిషన్. కాన్స్టెంట్ quantity definition. What is constant quantity? Quantity, the value of the quantity, the value of a quantity remains same. Quantity ఎప్పుడు సేమ్ ఉంటుంది, remains same in the mathematical operation. Mathematical operations. That can be mathematical operation అంటే ప్లస్ మైనస్ ఏమైనా ఉండొచ్చు. సో లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఏంటంటే ఇంటీజర్స్, or we can say fractions, pi, okay, e, etc. We call them as the constant quantity. If the value of the quantity remains in the mathematical operation remains same in mathematical operation, we say it is a constant quantity. Variable quantity. Variable quantity. Variable quantity. Okay. If the quantity takes if the quantity takes different values, if the quantity takes different values in mathematical operations, is called variable quantity. It's called variable quantity. Okay, that is if you give y is equal to 2x plus 3, suppose an equation, y is equal to 2x plus 3. So if you take x is equal to 0 or x equal to 1, x equal to 2 or x equal to 3, if you take so many values of x, you get different values of y. Means based on the mathematical operation, you are having mathematical operation that is plus. If you keep on increasing or decreasing the values of x, the values of y are different. So hence we say the variable quantity, we define it as variable quantity. Are we clear? And the basic information I'm giving here y is the dependent quantity and x is the independent quantity. So you are having two types of quantities in variable quantities. In variable quantities, you are having two types. One is the dependent, another one is independent. The quantity, if the quantity takes different values in mathematical operation, is called variable quantity. Why? If the quantity takes different values in mathematical operation is called variable quantity. Why I'm calling this variable quantity is I'm taking the x values. I'm taking any type of x values, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. I will get the y for corresponding x values. For corresponding x values, I get y values different. Example, suppose y is equal to 2 into 0 plus 3. I get y is equal to 3. If I take y to x is equal to 1, 2 of 1 plus 3, I get y equal to 2 plus 3, 5. Now, if I take y is equal to 2 of 2 plus 3, I get y is equal to 4 plus 3, 7. Now, I'm getting different values here. I'm getting different values. I defined already variable quantity. What is if the quantity takes different values? The
Different
quantity is
values.
different values it is taking in the mathematical operation. That is why we are calling it as variable quantity. Are we clear with the definition? Okay. Are we clear? Just now we discussed about what is constant quantity and what is the variable quantity. Constant quantity, suppose the number, whatever you do the mathematical operation, it remains the same. It remains the same, right? That is what you are going to get, no change in the values. That is called a constant quantity. Then variable quantity, while doing the equations for the corresponding x values, you get different values of y. Then you can say that it is a variable quantity. Variable quantity, these are the things. Then constant quantity, just you say the numbers, integers, -1, -2, -3, or any logarithm functions or exponential functions or numbers, the whole numbers, whatever you take, that we say it is a constant quantity. Are we clear with this? Are we clear with this both definitions? Right. Now, now I'm erasing. Now, what is a function? Function. What is a function? If corresponding, if corresponding to any value given, to any value given, corresponding to any value given, value of x, value of x, value of x, there exists, there exists, there exists a single definite value of I. There exists a single value, a single value, definite value, single definite value means compulsory will get value, definite value. Then you say it is a function. Then we say, it is a function. We say it is a function. Whatever you take the x, you get some y value. Then we call it as a function. Now, how to read? How to read? Y is the function of x. Y is the function of x. Means y is equal to f of x. For x, you are getting the y values. Means for you for a function x. What does it means? For the function of x, which is in the form of x, we are getting the values of y. That is the meaning of this equation. Means let us go to the previous example. That is y is equal to 2x plus 3. Means what this you say 2x plus 3 is what? It is nothing but f of x. Function of x. You are getting y values. That's what we got now in the previous case. Yes or no? In the equation y is equal to 2x plus 3, while it is a function of x, for whatever you're putting the x values, 0, 1, 2, 3, you are getting the corresponding y values. Means we say that function of x is y. That is the meaning. Are we clear? Are we clear? Are we clear? Right. Okay. Can I up? Can I up? Okay. Now differentiation. We are explaining the concept of differentiation. Let y be the let y be the function of x. Let y be the function of x. Function of x. Let y be the function of x. This is denoted by this is denoted by y is equal to f of x. Let y be the function of x. This is denoted by y is equal to f of x. Here, here x and y are variables. Are variables. Are variables. Where x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. Then variable. Okay, are we clear? The value of x changes to we are writing in the terms other terms here. Let the value of let the value of x change to delta x change to delta x change to delta x and correspondingly y changes to delta y changes to delta y. That is why delta y means how y plus delta y changes. This one will change to x plus delta x increase. Where the value of x change to x delta x small increment, and corresponding also changes to y delta y. The change between the initial value and the final value and the final value and the final value of what? Of variable quantity. Variable quantity of variable quantity is called difference. Is called difference. Are you clear? Are you clear? Okay now? Right. Now, how to represent the mathematical expression, I'm going to tell. So for this meaning of the sentence, I'm going to write down here. So let the value of x change to x plus delta x, and correspondingly y changes to y plus delta y, and the change between initial and the final of variable quantity is called the difference. Now I erase this one. Can I erase? Can I erase? Both you can give a symbol. Right. Difference. 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 Difference in x. Where? Difference in x. Difference in x means, so what is the final value? You got x plus delta x. What is the initial value? X. So if I substitute, what will I get? X plus delta x minus x plus x cancel, you are getting plus delta x. So difference in x, this is called difference in x. What do you mean by difference in x? Then difference in y, difference in y, difference in y. How you write y plus delta y means this is the final value. What is the initial value? Y. So y plus delta y minus y. Y cancel, you are getting delta y. This is, we call it as difference. We call it as difference. Okay. And when you write the ratio, the ratio of delta y by delta x. What does this mean? The ratio of delta y by delta x is called the quotient quotient of two increments. Two increments. Yes or no? This is one increment and this is another one increment. Delta y is one increment. Delta x is one increment. These are two increments. Delta y is one increment. Delta is one increment. You are finding the delta y by delta x. That is, you find you'll get some quotient value, some number. It is going to be divided. So you are getting of what? Of two increments. That is called the difference. When the difference is very small, when the difference is very small, very small, very small, almost approaching to zero, almost approaching to zero, approaching to zero. Then we write, then we write delta y by delta x as dy by dx. Okay, are we clear? Are we clear? The difference, what you are finding the ratio of the two increments when you find, and when it is almost approaching to zero, but not zero, you are going to write dy by dx. Are we clear? Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. Now the statement which I have written here can be written as in the mathematical form, that is limit limit, that is delta x. So what you are writing here, delta x is tending towards zero, delta x is tending to zero. The ratio of the two increments, that is delta y by delta x, will be equal to dy by dx. dy by dx. Okay, are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. And what does this means? What does this means? Small change, small change in y corresponding to small change in x values. This is the meaning. So what do you mean by dy by dx? Small change in y corresponding to small change in x values. Are we clear? Okay. Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. Let us go through the graphical approach so that you will understand and the concept very well. Are we clear? Okay. Right. Right. Can I am rubbing erasing here? Let us take the graph. Let us take the graph. So here, so you must be very sure what should be on x. This is x-axis. We call this is horizontal line as x-axis and the vertical axis as y, and this is x. So this is x. So remember, always on x-axis there will be independent variables. Independent variables. and on y-axis it is dependent variables. Dependent variables. So x is independent. This y is depending on x. So let us assume that there is a one graph like this. You got some graph. Okay. For this graph, I let us assume there is one point that is A. And for this A, I got f of A value. F of A value. F of A value. For this given on x is equal to A, you got f of A value. Suppose it has incremented to up to h value. The next point will be A plus h. So for this corresponding x values, I got f of a plus h. F of a plus h. Now, what did I say? Limit x delta x is tending to 0. The change in y. The change in y. What is that? The change in y. What do you mean by change in y? By change in x. Change in y. Change in y means y. What do you write? Final minus initial. Final minus initial by final minus initial.